Hello, BookTube. Well, it's not an easy thing to eat crow. It never is, especially when you're all-knowing and largely infallible. But my surly houseboy told me today, David Murphy is visiting here, and we had a plan to go to Salem and the shore today. And when my surly houseboy learned that, he said there's a comic shop in Salem that you need to go to. You absolutely need to go to. It's going to blow you away. And I said, well, we'll definitely do it, but how good could it be? There is a comic shop over the river in Cambridge called Millionaire Picnic. And it's terrific. And I thought, well, the comic shop you're talking about might be good, but it won't be that good. And I need to apologize because it was incredible. It was called Harrison's. And it was amazing, just amazing. So I wanted to do sort of a catch-all video where I show you what I got at Harrison's and also show you a couple of books that came in the mail that I opened just impulsively. Harrison's was a revelation. Good Lord. If I lived anywhere near them, I would have something there every week. So what did I find? I found new things and old things. An old thing that the wonderful manager at the counter sold it to me for $1 is this. It's an old anthology from I want to say the late 1990s. The early 1990s, 1991, called The Very Best of Marvel Comics. That is just an anthology of pieces, young and old for the time. So it starts off with John Byrne X-Men, them fighting Magneto, but it moves to, I glanced at it, but it moves to when Green Goblin learns that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and I think also there is that classic Daredevil episode where he confronts Prince Namor the Submariner and doesn't have a chance, with Wally Wood artwork. Yes, is that right? And we've got early Jack Kirby when they meet Doctor Doom for the first time. Well, actually, I should walk through this because the tiny comic book fans are going to want to know. Oh, how incredible. This is from, I think, the 1980s. This is Doctor Strange number 55. The artwork is by Christopher Golden. Look at that. Good Lord. And Christopher Golden, he's a slow artist. Obviously, as you can tell. Look at how meticulous that is. He would have been a perfect artist to do a long run on Doctor Strange, but he's a slow worker, except that he managed to keep doing the artwork for Marvel's comic book about the Vietnam War. But Doctor Strange, no. How nice to have this in here. I don't have it anthologized in any other way. Yeah, here we go. This is the one I was talking about where Prince Namor fights Daredevil. It isn't really a fight. He throws him around like a beanbag. But it's got wonderful, stately Wally Wood artwork. Fantastic. Oh, my God. Stan Lee's famous racial issue of Daredevil, Brother Take My Hand. This is incredible. And this is a long and very successful run on Daredevil with artwork by Gene Colan, which is why all the people look like people, because all of his people did. I don't know for sure that he was a perfect candidate for doing any kind of superheroes. You've heard me talk about him on this channel because he was the artist for Tomb of Dracula, where he did a great job. And then, oh boy, I didn't realize that the 90s were so good. Then we have Walt Simonson, a couple of issues from his amazing run on Thor. Probably there will be a couple of issues here to do that. Yes. And then, of course, you got to have something for the Dude Bros. So we go back to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby on the Fantastic Four with this man and this monster. Sort of a bylaw that you have to have that in any anthology. But how amazing to get it for $1. And also there were dollar comic boxes, and I told David going in. David has no interest in any of this stuff. I told him going in, I will be in and out. We will get what we're looking for. I will look for a couple of specific things, but I will not lose myself. And then I found myself doing this that you comic fans will all know. I was doing this through dollar comic issues, thousands of them. I had a moment where I thought, wait, this is exactly what you said you wouldn't do. So I snapped out of it, but not before I found a Superman, the Man of Steel #1. We had John Bogdanovich cover there with the World Trade Center in the background. There was a time in, what are you going to give me the date? I should know the date off the top of my head. 1991, again. where Superman got a bunch of his titles were moved around, and he got a new title. Superman Man of Steel was a new title with John Bogdanovich artwork, which is oh, wait a minute, it's a Bogdanovich cover. This is not. Oh, okay. There are a whole bunch of artists involved here. I bought this when it first came out. I was curious to see what they would do with Superman. I was curious to know. Of course, there was Superman and Action Comics, but now there was Superman Man of Steel, and I was wondering, will each of these be a little different? And I really enjoyed it. So those were oldies, and then I got another oldie, but the format here was the killer. DC Comics is doing these. I think I showed you the Watchmen one. They're doing these. What do they call them? Compact comics, and they do one for Kingdom Come. They do the one we talked about was the one for the Watchmen, but they do one for Kingdom Come, which is it's an absolutely incredible story. As you know, I've done walkthroughs of Kingdom Come a couple of times on this channel. It is amazing, and this was $10, a little paperback, as opposed to so you're losing on the real up close nature of the artwork, but I have Pinchable Eve copies for that. This is wonderful. I didn't have one of these. The Watchmen volume came in and out. I did not keep it, so I have this one. And they are doing others. They're doing others that look really good. Whoever's in charge of those reprints is doing a great job. And then I found a couple of relatively recent comics, not new comics. These are reprints. This thing, the folks at DC reprinted Action Comics #1, The Appearance of Superman, with variant covers like this one, and also there was a copy of this there that had the original cover. It's a slightly oversized thing. There were a whole bunch of reprints like this there for Superman, all as part of a new initiative for DC Comics for this summer called the Summer of Superman. Probably because of the movie that's coming out. So this is Action Comics #1, where Superman makes his first appearance, and then it is all the thing that sold me on it is that it's all the backup features in Action Comics #1, just as they were, which is incredible because I don't know that I've read a lot of those. They'll be dumb, they'll be cheesy pulp stuff, but this was a Superman thing I could not pass up. And then the other thing that I got is also a reprint. DC and Marvel Comics now do a healthy amount of reprinting of older stuff. In this case, very much older. This is Fun Comics #73. And that is Dr. Fate on the cover, grabbing Tommy guns and punching people. But this was also an anthology volume and has a whole bunch of other people in it. There's Green Arrow, and also I believe this is the issue where Aquaman makes his first appearance in any comic book, not just in this. Let's take a look and see if he's in here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Johnny Quick is in here. There's a whole bunch of these characters that are not all that well known. And these old anthology comics had prose as well. They had little prose inserts like that. You get a 1-page or 2-page story. This one said the name of the author is Wilton Weston. But don't be fooled. A lot of those were by Stan Lee. he could do any number of them in very little time. Okay, we have the Spectre. DC's one of DC's supernatural characters, a man who dies and comes back as an all-powerful ghost. But isn't Aquaman? Yes, Aquaman is in here. Many have heard the legend of Aquaman. Who will believe such a strange tale? Most amazing of all secrets of the sea is the story of Aquaman, who, like a water god of old, dwells in the dim, unknown depths of the ocean, leaping forth to do battle with the evils and injustices of the world we know. And there he is. But that initial splash page picture is completely wrong, because if you fire a deck gun at Aquaman, you're going to blow him into hamburger. Whereas if you fire a deck gun at the character that DC writers are intentionally ripping off here, Prince Namor the Submariner, it will bounce off him. I believe in this first story that Aquaman is handily defeated. The one real difference between Aquaman and Prince Namor, this is the reprint cover. Don't know why they have this paper on top of it, but the reprint cover is just blank. And then inside that cover, you get a facsimile of the original cover. And the Aquaman, from the beginning, is not as powerful as Prince Namor physically. He certainly can't fly. He's not bulletproof. But he can talk to the fishies. And also anything that his dumb entirely New York creatures, people who've never been anywhere near an ocean, anything that they thought were fishies. So we're told that Aquaman can communicate with fish, but we see him constantly talking to whales and dolphins and even a walrus. But, this is also going to, the draw of this reprint is also going to be the same thing as the Action Comics thing, where it'll be the backup stories that I'm not familiar with at all. So those are the comics. That's everything that I got at Harrison's. Just incredible. It actually did live up to its billing. But I got a couple of books today in the mail. I opened them, and I thought I'd show them to you. They're pretty close to Steve Bullseye's, including especially this one. This is by Gianno Cromley, and this is American Mythology. It's a Bigfoot novel. So I don't think this has a pub sheet. Let's see. Every month, at St. Pete's Tavern in rugged western Montana, a meeting is convened by the Basic Bigfoot Society's members, both of them. Jute and Virgil are lifelong friends, bound by an affinity for the elusive North American wood ape. Oh, that's a little bit of cryptozoology wonkery for you. Not everyone calls it that. Their monthly meetings and annual expeditions are a tradition that keep their friendship alive when so much else about their small town has fallen away. But things are about to get exciting for the Basic Bigfoot Society. Dr. Marcus Bernard, the country's foremost Bigfoot expert, approaches them with a proposition that seems almost too good to be true. To join their next expedition, along with an ambitious young documentarian, thankfully Virgil's daughter, Rye, is home from college and decides to tag along in order to make sure her dad and Jute aren't made fools of. Once in the woods, strange things begin to happen to them that seem to defy rational explanation. Are they the victims of a hoax, or are they in the precipice of the greatest anthropological discovery ever? So I have to assume that all the characters, the two heroes and the expert, the Bigfoot expert, are all going to be thinly modeled on real people. I have to assume that. And I have to assume the expert will be Dr. Jeff Meldon, who is certainly head and shoulders the foremost claimant to Bigfoot expert alive at the moment. Do I have any? Oh yeah, I do have marketing information. This is going to be a $28 hardcover, I think. Coming out, in mid-July. I'm not going to wait until mid-July to read this, but anyway, you Bigfoot fans. And then this next one. Somebody block the ears of Bill Rutenberg's wife. This is what I mentioned to you. This is coming out in September from Harvard University Press. This is the memoirs of General William Tecumseh Sherman, an annotated edition. So this is the galley copy, and it looks fairly good. It's got the artwork actually wrapping around the spine. This would do as a book to have, but I want the finished copy. And this is Sherman's memoir, which is famous, not as famous as Grant's memoir, but it's in the Library of America, with tons and tons of annotations. And I don't know anything about who is the annotator. Who does the annotator? John Marsalek. He did Grant's book. He did Grant's memoirs. He did an annotated version of Grant's memoirs. We'll see what the annotation is like here. You can boil William Tecumseh Sherman down to one thing, to one word: killing. You can boil him down to killing. Just killing. So you can dress it up all you like. You can talk. The Dude Bros are split between who they like better, Grant or Sherman, and they like everybody on the Confederate side. But you can dress it up all you want. But Sherman was just a killer. He was just a killer. That's all. Might have been useful if you've got a civil war to win, but it wasn't a happy day for journalists who are protected by name in the Constitution. It wasn't a happy day for blacks. It wasn't a happy day for Native Americans. He was just a killer. His primary solution to any problem was to kill it. So this book will mean I will have to go through his memoir one more time. This will probably be the 5th time I've read it. I won't like that very much, but I'll be able to concentrate on the annotations. So there you go. More bookish stuff. So I'm going to wrap this up. That comic shop was a revelation. I was telling myself all the way back, gee, isn't it a shame that I can't get there? But I could go across the street to Millionaire Picnic. They're not nearly as extensive, but they're pretty good. Anyway, we'll talk about it on Epic Comic Book Wednesday. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I will see you all soon. Thank you, BookTube.